Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series Book of Boba Fett, the Mandalorian Glavis Ringworld figure from Hasbro. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks fantastic, and to boot, it's pretty much a whole bunch of new sculpt, if not all new sculpt. I do have the Beskar armor version of Mandalorian here, and yeah, honestly, there's a lot of differences going on here. I mean, in terms of the undersuit, it looks like pretty much completely new sculpt. All the folds are different. Obviously on this, we got a soft goods cape as opposed to the, kind of plastic cape going on here. Proportions are very, very different, and silver is very, very similar. So it's still that nice bright silver, but obviously we got some tonal differences where definitely darker leather pieces going on here. We get the new thigh plate as we had seen before. This being a new thigh plate from the one before it. Not only that, but the kind of pauldron slash delt guards are definitely completely different. They're a lot bigger. The helmet is a completely different sculpt. As you can see, like completely different proportions. So yeah, a lot of new stuff going on here. I'm gonna put him off to the side. But yeah, really liking this, really liking the way it looks, the kind of presence it has overall. Really nice looking, and probably the most screen accurate we've seen from Hasbro so far, which is kind of nice. And yeah, just really good details. Of course, we get the little pieces down here, strapped to the boot. Different colors here again. I guess bringing back that previous version, so much darker, richer colors. So we got the dark brown as opposed to the kind of tan going on here. This is much more kind of a lighter gray, where this is more of a kind of bluish gray. Knee pad completely different. We got this like nice blue one now as opposed to this here, and again just reflecting the differences that his suit took on over the course of the show. The Mandalorian, and then going into Book of Boba Fett. So yeah, just really good looking figure here, and do like the fact that the cape itself does have kind of the wear at the bottom. Kind of hard to not make that look deliberate and kind of machined, but I think they did a decent job here. So yeah, overall, really cool looking figure. A relatively simple but very nice load of accessories here. Probably my favorite from the Mandalorians we've gotten so far from Hasbro. And starting off, we do get his jetpack done very nicely. Great details. We do get that very nice shade of silver. We get the vents on the bottom. So sculpt all around. You can see how it attaches to the body with the kind of two rectangular pegs and the circle one here on the bottom. So very nicely done there. Then we get a whole bunch of weapons. So first we get the Darksaber, and this looks great. We have seen this before. This has shown up in the line, though this time, instead of the kind of semi-translucent blade, we do get just kind of a straight up white over the black. So there is that, but definitely does look very nice in terms of sculpt and color. Then we get, of course, his sidearm. We've definitely seen this before, and done very nicely. Just that little touch of brown on the handle. So we get that, and then finally we get the vibroblade. And nicely done there, and we get as much detail as they're going to put in at this price point, at this scale. So nice bright silver, and then the kind of brown for the handle. And yeah, that will do it for accessories. Articulation balance here are very nice, and as you can see, we can hold our freestanding kicks, which is always nice. So there's that. Then getting to the finer points, we do have a ball joint here in the head. I believe it is a separate neck piece, just like it was with the previous Mandalorians. So we do get some decent up. We are running into the kind of cape and just some of the limitations of that neck joint as well. Then we get some very nice down, some great side to side, and of course rotation as well. Come to the arms, and there's actually butterfly joints going on here. So you can kind of see them going on in there. So not crazy range, but we do get a little bit of forward and back, which is a nice addition. Then we come into the arms, and we get a perfect T. We're getting rotation from there. We are still single jointed at the elbows, so we're coming right up to 90. Then we get rotation there as well, of course. Then we get hinge and swivel at the wrists, horizontal for the left, and we get vertical for the right. Then we come to the diaphragm, and I believe we do have a joint up in there. We do have a joint here at the waist, do we? Kind of maybe, yes, we do get a joint, but because of this overlay, we're kind of running into it. So not the best crunch, not the best arch back, but it is there. We do get some nice side to side as well. And getting that rotation mostly from the waist, or the waist. Coming down to the hips, we do get, not full splits, but we definitely get a decent amount of range going on there. Our front kick is perfect at 90. We do get thigh swivel hidden very nicely with the sculpt. Then we get single jointed knees, bringing us to just about 90. We get rotation there as well. Then for the feet, perfect, beyond perfect point. Then we get some very nice natural forward and some good rocker. So that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with some other Black Series. With some domestics. With some imports. With some monsters. Finally with articulated icons, Oni and yours truly in human form as the Valorous Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Star Wars The Black Series Book of Boba Fett Mandalorian Glavis Ringworld version figure is that this is definitely very solid. But if I'm being completely honest, I actually kind of prefer the previous mold that started with the Beskar armor version of Mandalorian forward. And I just think the articulation is a little more fun. Previously, even though they've added the butterfly joints and a lot of other stuff, the soft goods cape here really does a lot. That is infinitely better than what we got with all the previous Black Series Mandalorians. The accessories here are very much spot on. I really love the accessories. Colors here are very, very nice. The screen accurate representation is also a plus here. So there's a lot to love here. I think for my personal preferences, I kind of prefer the old mold, just with a soft goods cape. But here there is definitely a lot to love. And even if I'm not seeing what a lot of others are, because there's a lot of hype around this particular figure, does not invalidate that at all. It's just, personal preference. And that's what all of this is. That's what reviewing is. That's just what experiencing life is. So I definitely recommend this if you're curious, because it's definitely worth checking out and kind of seeing if this is what you want in your collection. And it is showing up in, I have not seen this on shelves or pegs yet in Targets or Walmarts, but it's definitely available online from various resources. So I'll have a link or two in the description below if you're interested. That being said, I hope to see you back, because I do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. So if any of that appeals to you, please come on back. Let's just escape the world, talk about some nice plastic. And at the end of the day, I just hope you're well. Hope that all of your toy dreams come true. And most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.